don't think you could do a Where's Cullen series without covering Vegas. This video is obviously going to get monetized. Now, I'm not down at the Bellagio or the Mandalay Bay, obviously, where the October 1st, 2017 shooting occurred. That's where Cullen first rose to prominence. But we've been down there a million times, and there's nothing new that we're going to see today that's relevant to that. And frankly, I don't have anything new to say about the Vegas shooting. This video is not about the Vegas shooting. It's about Cullen, and guess what? He's not in Vegas. A lot of people thought he lived in Vegas or was from Vegas. He's not here. But I've never, I don't think, been to Vegas at Christmas time. It's a little cool today. It's very overcast. I don't know if it's going to rain. I guess I've seen it rain in Vegas, but I don't know. This is probably the coolest it's ever been, temperature-wise. Wanted to take this opportunity to just show people what's happening in Las Vegas, December 2025. It's a city that's constantly changing. I proposed to my second wife up there, top of the fake Eiffel Tower. I guess not as romantic as the real Eiffel Tower, but you know, you take what you can get. They're building a new Hard Rock hotel. The Mirage is out, right? Siegfried and Roy are dead. One of them is dead. Are they both dead? The tiger ate one of them or attacked one of them. That was kind of the beginning of the end for those guys. I like Siegfried and Roy, but I don't think you can see them anymore. And the Mirage is out. I'm pretty sure that was like the first theme hotel. You can see the Hard Rock Hotel guitar right there under construction. That's the former Mirage. That's going to be the new Hard Rock. And I guess there'll be a gigantic guitar right there, shadowing Caesar's palace. But that's not what this video is about. This video is more about Cullen. You know, there's tons of feedback coming from people as I do these Where's Cullen videos. Again, he's not here. I know where he is. I'm not actually going to tell people where he is. That would be doxing. And everyone's like, oh, come on, Jason, you owe us. There's a cute little dog dressed for Christmas. Very Christmassy dog. You know, anonymous fake accounts. Now, wait a minute. Can I get down to the street here? Because if I start traipsing through a casino, oh, damn it. I thought, oh, yeah, here we go. I think they'll definitely, well, maybe we can go through the mall with this. I don't know. Let's see. Can we get to the Bellagio? I think you got to go through the casino if you go in there. We'll just go down on the streets of Vegas, the mean streets of Vegas, and we'll see what's going down. Fake named accounts. I don't know who these people are. They say, Jason, you know, you owe us X, Y, and Z. Look, with regard to this topic of where is Cullen, I am not under any obligation to say or do anything apart from exactly what I want. And that's what's happening. If you don't like it, you as the viewers have the option not to watch. I do appreciate the people who are watching, and I really appreciate the people who sponsor on subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth or on crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com. And of course, I forgot to mention patreon.com. Did I say subscribestar.com? Subscribestar.com and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. Damn it, you can't get through on the street to the Bellagio. I might have some trouble here. I don't want to go into the casino with a selfie stick. I'll probably be thrown out. Let's just see. I'm trying to just get through to the Bellagio so we can see that. But anyway, just to explain to people what I wanted to talk about here. You can also follow me on X at JG_CSTT. and sponsor there by subscribing. So yeah, people are telling me, oh, you know, you have to tell us where Cullen is, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to dox the guy. And I've actually made that quite clear. Obviously, if I wanted to, I could. He has the impression, these people with these little kids just almost unplugged me. Cullen is under the impression that I threatened to dox him. Somebody else said, oh, you don't have any evidence that you spoke to him. You got to present your evidence or else shut up. And I say again, I'm under no obligation to do anything other than what I choose to do. I will show the evidence, but we're laying something out here in a mini-series called Where's Cullen? And he's not here, not in the mall. Are we in the mall at Caesar's Palace, or maybe we're in the mall at Bellagio? See, this is where I run into the problem of being in the casino and they're gonna say, no selfie stick in the casino. That's gonna be a problem. Let's see if we can zip through here and get to the lobby. Maybe we can go down the stairs here. Maybe that sidewalk is still closed. It is. So let's be low key. Damn it. This is gonna throw off my whole video because I wanna show people the awesome Christmas display here in the Bellagio. But you know, other people have been writing to me, and by the way, let's be clear, I'm not trying to instruct anyone to unsubscribe from Cullen. People should do what they want with their money. You could come to Vegas and gamble it all away. You could keep giving it to a channel that's not producing any content and has made it clear to me that he isn't going to. But I think it's kind of crappy of the pseudonymous individual known as Cullen to just abandon all the people that have supported him for so long and to just not tell them. You know, if what he says is true, which I don't think it is, that it's my fault that he's disappeared from the internet, why didn't he announce that to the people who have spent hundreds or even thousands of dollars supporting his work and say, hey, my identity has come under threat, and to protect myself and my family or whatever, I'm gonna stop producing content on the internet, so thanks to everybody who sponsored me, but nothing more coming. He could say that. That would have been thoughtful, rather than having people waste their money for the past 2 months while he produces nothing. Kind of griftery, don't you think? Just leave people wondering if he's going to return and keep collecting the money. You know, by the way, this is another reason why it doesn't make sense to me that he's just disappeared. You know, when we do these sponsor exclusive shows, we always start with a free portion on YouTube and X, etc. And then I tell people, join us on subscribestar.com or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth, on crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com. Those sponsor exclusive shows, whether it's me by myself or me with a co-host, I pay for the server that delivers those videos. They aren't going out on YouTube. And I did that because social engineers tried to attack the business model of Crowdsource the Truth very early on. Oh, can we switch to the front camera? Is it going to cooperate here? We got a lot of radio interference here in Vegas. Come on, don't give up on me now. Let's see if we can bring this thing back here. Stand by, folks. Okay, we're back. It's always annoying when that happens. Anyway, as I was saying, I find it essentially abusive to the longtime supporters. Oh, but wait, we wanted the camera looking forward. Is it okay? Back to cooperating. I think it's abusive to the supporters to not announce that he's leaving. And again, this is part of the evidence that I used to come to the conclusion that Cullen was working on a social engineering op. Now, some people have objected to the notion that he's a social engineer. They're like, no, everything he said about Vegas was great and COVID. People are mixed on what he said about COVID. But then again, I don't know if that's social engineering or what. Isn't this a nice Christmas display here in Bellagio? It's almost like a train set under a giant Christmas tree. But people say, oh, Cullen's not a social engineer. Well, you certainly don't know. People are just guessing. You know, I say it all the time. The things I tell people, I'm looking at facts and evidence in the public domain, and then I'm arriving at conclusions that are my opinions. You might come to a different conclusion looking at the same evidence. You're free to do that. I'm not trying to tell people what to think. I'm trying to tell you what I know and allow you to form your own opinions. Boy, Vegas is really crowded. But now I'm here so you don't have to be. Here we have a gingerbread house. This woman, wow, is this a restaurant that you can go into? It's the Garden Table, it is. Wow, that's got to be expensive and fancy. But a nice way to spend Christmas with your family if you want to eat inside a gingerbread house. So people say, Cullen's not a social engineer. I say he is. And again, you know, you can disagree with me, but seems likely that he was working for MBS when he was investigating Vegas. A lot of people think he found out a lot of stuff that would be difficult, if not impossible, for one person to do. Certainly would be quite a bit easier if you had the help of a national intelligence service like that of Saudi Arabia. Again, not proof, but I look at this evidence, and particularly, so people said, oh, you know, Jason, just because that guy Jason Buff, he's the head of security of Tropicana, and that's why they brought him in. None of that makes any sense. And by the way, even if Cullen disagreed with me, there's a way you can disagree and say, well, maybe that's right, but I don't think so, and move on. He was so adamant in his disagreement, it just seemed forced. It seemed strange to me. Same thing with other things that he's done. You know, he so vociferously agrees with me on certain points, but then counteracts with equal strength the other points, and it just seems incongruent. It doesn't seem to match. It doesn't seem like consistent behavior. I hate those inconsistencies. It really just doesn't make a lot of sense. He acted like a horse's ass quite a lot of the time, and that can explain a lot of this. Maybe that's the whole explanation, but let's go into this whole notion that I threatened to dox him. I didn't do that, actually. I demanded that he remove a post on the internet that was giving me legal liability, potentially criminal liability, definitely civil legal liability, and seemed quite calculated to get me removed from X. Let me explain what I'm talking about. So people know that Cullen got into a beef with Viva and Barnes. Here's a video that he sent me where he's beefing with them, and he's saying when he's elected, Barnes will be hung. Oh wait, is that the one? Yeah, so Viva's in there. Viva's in there saying, you're going to threaten to kill people you disagree with. You're on the side of Charlie Kirk's assassins. Now look, I don't think that's actionable. I don't think that's legitimately actionable in court. But you got to remember, people can bring lawsuits for all kinds of frivolous reasons, and people who are lawyers can bring lawsuits like that, pro se, or however they want to do it. It can be quite easily done. So I don't really want to tangle with known lawyers, particularly those who don't like me. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But Cullen put that out there. Viva made it clear that he construed it as a threat. Remember, that's the important part. Doesn't matter what Cullen thinks about it. Doesn't matter what you as the viewer think about it. Doesn't matter what I think about it. Viva, David Freiheit, was making it clear that he considered that a threat, or at least hateful language along the lines of that which resulted in Charlie Kirk getting assassinated. And that's the kind of thing that really can trigger your social media moderation. Maybe we can see the fountain here at the Bellagio. So of course, we then saw George Webb's asshole of a brother seize on that, and I posted this tweet. It says, as anticipated, George's mentally ill brother is leveraging I am John Cullen's irresponsible use of my likeness to attempt to get me kicked off of X. And I said, John, this is a second and final demand that you immediately remove the post, apologize to Viva and Barnes, and cease and desist from any and all references to me. Cease using images and videos created by me or including me, and do not refer to me in your abusive post. My next steps will involve legal action against you that will require public disclosure of your name and identity. Do not make me do that. Handle this now, please. And I've included the attached. This is an email from George's brother to attorneys for X. What he was attempting to do here was to get me removed post haste. Peter Sciamino and Kenneth Trujillo Jameson are attorneys, outside counsel to X. And he's telling them, look, Goodman and his associates are threatening violence, posting things that could be construed as threats of violence. He's threatening the California bar, trying to put a lot of pressure on these attorneys to get them to take action and remove this content from X. And certainly the people in the comments understood, this is now the Webbs and Cullen versus Goodman, how Webb's handlers are paying Cullen, some hateful comments about me being Jewish. Why do Jews always threaten violence? I mean, it's got nothing to do with being Jewish. Am I supposed to allow someone to abuse images of me and my likeness and, include that in threats of harm? Why am I supposed to just sit by and allow that to happen? So, I'm posting it publicly because I had sent a number. This is all going to get so monetized and copyright complainted on here. I had sent a number of texts and different things to Cullen. And I mean, he claims that he's not socializing, he's on Twitter all day. It's just very convenient that he didn't remove this content right away. I started sending those messages at 10 in the morning or something like that. And if you look at the timestamps on some of these things, he doesn't remove them until minutes after George's brother sent that email. Now, I don't know if he was in direct communication with George's brother to say, okay, I've done the screen capture, you can delete the tweet now. I've contacted Sciamino and Trujillo Jameson, and Jason, what we wanted to achieve is done. I don't know if that happened, but certainly the timing of these incidents line up such that it could have happened. There could have been coordination, or it could just be a great coincidence. I really don't know. We'll be left to speculate, but of course, you see what I said there. That wasn't a threat that I'm going to dox you. I first told him to just simply remove the content, and when he wasn't performing, I told him that he was leaving me with no options but to delete it. Now let's see, this, I believe, is an email that I sent him. Right, this is an email where I'm telling him, remove the posts that have been construed as threats, remove the posts that include my likeness, post a public apology to Viva and Barnes, and stop including me in posts that put legal liability on me, or I will take legal action against you. And see, I could have even posted his real name right here if that's what I wanted to do, but I'm taking the courteous step to redact it because I'm not going nuclear on Cullen. I'm just letting people understand what it is that this malicious individual did and how he's trying to reframe it now, and how it's just extremely suspicious to me that it coincides with the language that social engineers are using, in as much as they're saying, oh, it's Jason's fault that Cullen had to leave the internet. And, you know, Cullen's a hero and Jason is a villain. That seems to be the social engineering angle that is shaping up. How am I going to be able to get back to where I need to go here? This is bad. See, Vegas is a real problem. With this sidewalk closed, I'm sort of super shut down. And the traffic is so bad that they don't want you. No, I got to go back through the hotel or I'm not going to be able to get back to where I need to be. That's wild. Yeah, well, that's what we do. So he wasn't responding to the, you know, offline text messages and phone calls and things like that. I was using measured steps. I don't go right to the most extreme right away. And again, if he weren't a social engineer, if this were just a mistake or a careless post, he could have kept it out of the public conversation by removing that stuff without waiting until I went and sent all that stuff. So that email was sent to him at 9:08 a.m. That email that I just showed was sent at 9:08 a.m. And then he deleted something, but it was the wrong thing. So I sent him this. He sent me a text message saying, which post? He said, the post is deleted. I said, no, it's not. And this is the one. You see, that was me. You see, that said, crowdsource the truth. This wasn't deleted until 12:53, more than an hour after George's brother sent that email to the Twitter lawyers. So, I mean, does John not know what he's doing? He's supposed to be this master of investigation and evidence and everything. He doesn't know where his own tweets are that include images of me. I think he's denying reality, because when I saw him outside his house the other day, a week ago, whatever it was, he said the post had nothing to do with me. Now, I don't know. You can make your own decision. But if it includes an image of me and has my brand name on it, and it's being used to demonstrate to lawyersforx.com that me and my associates are issuing threats of violence, do you think that has something to do with me or no? Do you think it was unreasonable for me to ask him to delete it? The other thing that he said to me just the other day when I saw him and spoke to him was that I have no right to tell him what to post on the internet. Well, I don't claim to have a right to tell him what to post on the internet. In fact, I agree with that. That's the reason why he should still be posting on the internet, but he's not. It's very curious. I do believe I have a right to defend myself and my own legal rights with regard to the use of my likeness and videos that I arguably own the copyright of, videos that I create and are my intellectual property. I don't think he has the right to include those in threats of violence transmitted over the wires of the internet. I mean, he certainly can do it, but he runs the risk of legal action. And, you know, it's not like I just came right out and started threatening to sue him. Lawsuits are complicated. They take time and cost money. And I've got much better things to do with my time and money. However, when he failed to respond to my polite instructions and demands, I was letting him know that he was basically leaving me with no choice, and that the next step would be legal action if he didn't act. I just merely reminded him that filing a lawsuit, I'm not going to sue John Cullen, who's a fake person using a fake name. I would sue the actual person that I know that he is. And I'm addressing him by his name in those emails to remind him of that fact, to show him the urgency and the importance in deleting that. Now, when he deleted it, I was able to quickly inform Peter Shimino and Kenneth Trujillo Jameson that I have nothing to do with that third party. I had nothing to do with the threats. I'd issued a cease and desist, and the threats had been deleted. So this effectively removed the fuel that would have been used by these attorneys to remove my Twitter account. And by the way, I had recently been in communication with them, Jameson specifically, Trujillo Jameson, about the sensitive content ban. So there's interaction happening with these guys. These aren't, random lawyers that George's brother is emailing. He constantly bombards them. He's learned their identities from looking at the docket in Goodman versus the City of New York, and he leverages every single thing that I do to try to create legal jeopardy for me. That is the stated reason that the pseudonymous malicious jackass known to you guys as John Cullen operates under a fake name. He says he fears legal liability. So I became extremely pissed off when he behaved in this way, so irresponsibly, putting all of this legal liability on me while he shields himself behind a fake name. It seems excessively irresponsible in my view, if not a deliberate attempt to help the Swigert brothers destroy my social media accounts. And again, this is not the first time the pseudonymous malicious social engineer known as John Cullen has behaved in a way that seems suspiciously like an effort to destroy my social media channels while he benefits. It is so objectionable to me that I have helped that person so much. And look, let's say I'm completely wrong, and none of this was deliberate. Just being so careless with the livelihood of someone who's helped him, I think he should be a lot more apologetic. So however you want to go, however you want to interpret what I'm saying, whether I'm correct and it's deliberate social engineering, or it's simply just carelessness and I need to be more forgiving, what if anything that I've said compels John Cullen to never post anything on the internet again? My point is, by all measures, he should have just carried on doing whatever the hell he does and leaving me out of it. Why can't he do that? Why can't he go on posting about military jets and whatever the hell he wants to post about and just not mention me? Not use videos that we've done together. He could do that, couldn't he? There's no reason he couldn't. Oh, and so as I was saying earlier, I control the server that those sponsor exclusive videos go out on. So I'm able to see, particularly now that we hadn't been doing videos for 10 months, and then we came back and we did those 2 videos, the first one being hosted from the paid host, I can see how many people are watching John versus how many people are watching me, and I can tell you, he was making between $10,000 and $20,000 a month from subscribers like you. Obviously not all of which are subscribed to crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com or subscribestar.com and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. And he didn't say anything to any of you for 2 months. People have sent him money to produce no content. He could have said, hey, I'm taking a vacation, taking a little time off. I'll be back in January. I'll be back never. He could have said anything like that, and that would have given people the option to decide if they wanted to continue sponsoring him in his absence or to take a hiatus or to cancel altogether. Again, I'm not telling people what to do. I'm just giving everybody my opinion of this behavior. I think it's selfish. I think it's deceptive. I think it's, frankly, dishonest. And now he's trying to convince you that I forced him off the internet. He claims to even have printouts. I don't know why he said that. He said, I've got printouts of the emails. He said it's a felony that I threatened to dox him, and that it's a felony. And he asked me if I wanted him to call the FBI. I said, sure, call the FBI. I said, what's the felony? Cite the statute. he said USC 1541. So that's a section of something, but actually it's not. It's a fictional statute that he made up. There is no 18 USC 1541 or 27 USC or 47 USC. Nothing. I mean, I'm not aware of that. And by the way, doxing, it's not a felony. Doxing is not even considered a crime. Doxing is a colloquialism for revealing somebody's address. Now, depending on the context in which you do that, it could be a crime. If I gave people Cullen's address and said, go do something, could be an incitement to violence, could be a lot of things. But, I mean, frankly, at this point, even if I went to Cullen's house, knocked on the door, spoke to him right outside his place, that's like 60 Minutes style reporting. I could do that. And I mean, you know, it's funny, he's very smart about certain things and extremely stupid about other things. I guess he doesn't realize he is a limited purpose public figure. And from that standpoint, it's public interest what's going on with him. Could even be fraudulent inducement what he's done. So revealing who he is and what his motives are and things like that, it's journalism. It's public interest. I think he'd have a difficult time proving otherwise, because I've got loads of DMs from people saying, do you know what's going on with him? Is he all right? He told me it's none of my effing business what's going on with him. Well, like I said, a total stranger could go to his house and interview him outside the house and say, hey, where have you been the past several months? You're this viral Charlie Kirk investigator. Nobody has seen you for months and months. People think you've been kidnapped by the Egyptian Mossad, French Foreign Legion for talking to Candace Owens, and we want to know. It's a matter of public interest. He's inarguably a limited purpose public figure. So again, going there and talking to him in the context of journalism and trying to figure out what the hell he's been up to, totally legit. So I challenged him to contact the FBI, and he said he left, he quit, he terminated his vocation as a viral investigative journalist because he didn't want there to be legal action. But that's not what I ever told him to do. I just said delete the posts about me to avoid legal action. So again, this is all very performative nonsense from the pseudonymous social engineer known as John Cullen. And I just wanted to let everybody know what's going on. He did delete, that video he sent me was the deletion of the post, but now that people have had an opportunity to see it, you know, there's sort of no question that what I was saying about it is true. He got into a beef with Viva and Barnes. He included an image of me in that beef. Viva made it very clear that they construed it as a threat of true harm. I told him to delete it. And then he did, and it was done. I should have presented this. I'll present it in a future video, but I told him, now that the thing has been deleted, there's basically no reason for he and I to communicate in the future, and that if he doesn't make any posts about me, there won't be a reason to. So that's me basically warning him that I'll take legal action if he does something that I think is legally actionable. That's all I'm saying. It's not a threat. It's a litigation warning. It's not against the law. This is what I'm doing to protect my livelihood. You know, this is why they invented lawsuits, civil legal action, so that you don't have to resort to other means. Civilized people do that. So, anyway, that's basically all I have to say about this right now. Cullen really is a despicable liar, in my opinion. There'll be more to come in a future video, but I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and Merry almost